long time no see. Hope you're all well. Like I say, you've probably not seen me for over a week. I think last time you saw me, I was doing some cooking on Instagram. Because I've been on my jollies. Okay, I took a week off in Cornwall. Had a fantastic time, which made me think maybe we should do a video on the importance of rest. Now, I'm not talking about, having rest days and stuff like that. Most people take rest days during a week. And what I'm talking about is taking like an extended break from training. Which sort of fits in well with the fact that gyms are opening on the 25th of July. We've got a week now before they open. What should we do in that week? Now, all that depends on what you've been doing previously. Okay, if your training's been a bit hit and miss, then you potentially do not need a week off. But if, like me, you've been trying to train as regularly as possible, 3-4 times a week, you've been pushing yourself. Lockdown's been going on now for what feels like an eternity, but it's actually about 4 months. So maybe taking a complete week off from training might not be the worst idea. So I'm going to tell you why I think that is and what I think the importance is behind taking extended rest. Okay. Right, so I'm going to talk about the importance of taking a break from training and what I would recommend you do. Okay, like I said, for a lot of us, we've tried to maintain our training regimens as strictly as possible, considering the circumstances. And we've got a week now until the gyms open on the 25th. So what do we do in that meantime? And one thing that I would suggest most of us do, if we've been in that situation where we've still been training consistently, is take a week off. We all overstate the importance of exercise and understate the importance of rest, essentially. Having a week off from training is not a bad thing. In fact, it can be very, very positive in terms of your progression through the year, okay? If you are just constantly training with no rest, I'm not talking about rest days, I'm talking about an extended period of rest, you are just digging yourself into a hole and running the risk of overtraining. Think of it this way, the best athletes have their training prioritized in blocks, okay? Take a football player, for example, they'll do 12 weeks of pre-season where that will be a lot of volume, improving fitness, improving strength, and then they will have a block throughout the season, which is just maintaining the progress that they made in the pre-season. You're going to make very little progress during that time because you've got games and everything else, and then they have an extended break where I imagine most people will do absolutely nothing. Why? Because it allows you to sort of reset. Okay, during that time, you can heal those little niggly injuries that you've been suffering with. Okay, that dodgy elbow that's been giving you a bit of pain in the bench press, or that hip that's just started to get a bit aggy during your squats or your deadlifts. Having a week off from training can also allow you to recover mentally and emotionally. Okay, more often than not, people will take a week off when they've got a holiday. That you're in that mindset there that you need to relax. So it's an ideal time to put training on the back burner for a week or for 2 weeks or for however long you're going. And the best thing about it is it's not going to impact you as much as what you think. People are always saying to me, do I need to train when I go on holiday? What if I don't train? Will I lose all the progress that I've made? No, you will not lose all the progress that you have made. You will just find that when you come back to training, maybe you can't hit the ground running. Things might start off just a little bit slow, but over the long run, you'll probably make greater progress for having that time to yourself. Having a week off also allows you to catch up on everything, okay? Normally you lead such a busy and hectic lifestyle. You're looking after kids, you're making food, you've got work, what else? Any social engagements, whatever it is that your life is just full of. It just gives you a complete break from that and allows you to recover mentally and emotionally and catch up on things like sleep. I just would never ever recommend training on holiday, not like you would normally. But what do I recommend? Do I recommend taking like a week off completely? For me, I sort of struggle with that, if I'm being completely honest. I always find that if I take a complete week off, I find it a bit slow going for the first couple of weeks because I've not done any of the movements I would normally do: squats, deadlifts, bench presses, whatever. So what would I recommend? More often than not, I would suggest just doing a deload, whether it's for a week or 2 weeks, depending upon how long your holiday is. But what's a deload? A deload can be lots of different things to different people, but for most people who train, a deload is a vast reduction in volume and intensity. What I mean by intensity is the weight that you're lifting, and by volume, what I'm talking about is the amount of sets that you do. So I'll give you a couple of examples for a deload. Okay, so let's say normally you would do, I don't know, you do 3 sets of 5 at 100 kilos on your bench press. What I would then do as example 1 for a deload would be only do 1 set. Okay, so you're not reducing your intensity in terms of the amount of weight lifted so much as you're reducing the volume. So you're going from doing 3 sets to 1 set. And I would just do that on every exercise. So if you're doing 3 sets of lateral raises, 3 sets of cable flies, just do 1 set at your normal weight and then just leave it at that. For me, that's great if you like, if you are transitioning between training blocks, so you're going from one 12-week phase into another 12-week phase. But if you're away on holiday and you've got a couple of weeks off, I would much rather probably keep sets the same, so still do 3 sets of 5 on whatever it is, or 3 sets of 10 or 3 sets of 12, but reduce your weight. Okay, so I would drop the weights by half, because for a couple of reasons, really. One, you're not lifting at the level of weight, so that allows your muscles and joints and tendons and ligaments to recover, allows your central nervous system to recover, allows your peripheral nervous system to recover, but it still keeps you doing those movements. So all the technique pointers that you've been working on, you don't sort of lose those neuromuscular pathways, those cognitive pathways to doing those exercises in that manner. But the other thing is, it makes it easier to continue that when you come off your holiday, you return to your routine. Sometimes having a week off doing nothing, then it can be a hard slog getting back into the habit. I mean, you might not have trained for 2 weeks, you've done nothing, your routine's been completely different, so then coming back to your routine and jumping straight into it with training 4 times a week can be a bit of a challenge. Whereas if you've had, say, I don't know, 2-3 sessions a week while you've been on holiday at vastly reduced volume and intensity, it's not as hard to jump back into it when your routine is back to normal. That being said, there's nothing wrong with taking a couple of weeks off entirely. Sometimes you can't train because the facility to do it while you're on holiday is just not there. Hotel gyms in general are absolutely atrocious. The last one I went to in Mexico, they had a lat pull down with did it have no thigh pad, or only had half a thigh pad, which made it an absolute pain in the backside to train. So there's nothing to say that having a full week or a full 2 weeks off is going to be detrimental. It's not. It's just going to be a little bit more slow going back into it when you return to normal. But that pretty much concludes my video for today. So for those of you who have been training as normal, you've got a week until gyms open back up. Take a deload. Take some time off. Allow your body to recover. Allow your body to recuperate. Then you can hit things full force once the gyms are back open and go back to making progress on your normal routines. But that's all from me for today. I hope you found this useful. Let's see what Mel thinks about my points.
So guys, some fantastic advice there from Phil, and something, again, I probably need to take heed of. And pretty much anybody who knows me will know that is one thing I am not good at: taking any sort of breaks. I'm in such an OCD routine. I don't take breaks really hardly at all from training, and I know it is good for me. It's something I need to do. So I'm going to try my hardest to take heed of that message, Phil, I promise. But yeah, great advice there. And yeah, hopefully it was useful to everybody. And anything else you feel like you need a little bit of help on, a little bit of advice, you know where we are. Please, as I always say, would you put a like on this? I only said the damn like then. Put a like on this video. It literally takes you a second to click that like button and to subscribe as well, so you don't miss any of our videos. We're averaging about 2 videos a week now, which is great. Loads of different subjects. We've got recipes. We've got loads of different workouts up there. Loads of mindset stuff now, just things you might struggle with in daily life. We've hopefully got most of the answers up there for you. So guys, subscribe. And also remember, we've got our other social channels as well, which we put other stuff up, shorter videos. It's sort of smaller things that we want, tidbits we want to put up there. So we've got our Instagram channel, we've got our Facebook channel, we've got Twitter, we've got LinkedIn, we've got everything. So on most channels, it's Mel and Phil Present. So go have a look and make sure you give us a follow there. And thanks again. See you in the next one.